Cardinal Sean O'Malley presided over Christmas Day Mass at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. He also made his traditional visit to the homeless shelter at St. Francis House in downtown Boston. That is where John Keller caught up with him for some comments on the hottest story in American politics right now. John?
Yeah, Liam, the Archbishop of Boston has spoken out in recent weeks in defense of both Syrian refugees and American Muslims, two groups under fire from GOP presidential frontrunner Donald Trump. And while the Cardinal is steering clear of any direct political conflict, the difference between the philosophies of the two men could not have been more clear. The Cardinal brought his message of compassion to the homeless people and volunteers at the state's largest day shelter 3 months to the day after Pope Francis delivered a similar plea to the political establishment in Washington.
I hope that our country, particularly in this period of elections when people are talking about what new leaders need to do, that these economic problems and homelessness will certainly should be very high on their lists.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
But the campaign has taken a different turn, to the Cardinal's dismay.
Cardinal, what goes through your mind when you hear a harsh message of xenophobia and nationalism coming from a candidate who's rising in the polls?
Well, it's very worrisome. You know, our country has had a history of receiving immigrants from all over the world. At the same time, there's always been, you know, no Irish need apply or that kind of attitude.
Asked what he'd say to Trump if he could address him directly, the Cardinal said he'd ask him to reflect on what the Christmas story teaches. And in what may have been a nod to Trump's trademark Make America Great hats, the Cardinal invoked another story, the story of America.
When America is at her greatest is when we're faithful to that beautiful inscription on the Statue of Liberty that is inviting the people who are suffering and oppressed to come to these shores.
So who cares what the Cardinal thinks? That remains to be seen. But it's worth noting that New Hampshire has the 8th largest Catholic population in the country at 35%. In Iowa, Catholics account for 23%. We'll soon find out how strong the link between religious faith and political behavior is when it comes to issues of tolerance and compassion.